Today I'm with Cassie Lauder. She's the program manager for our DBT-based adult intensive outpatient program. Thanks a lot for being here, Cassie.
Thank you. It's a great opportunity to inform providers and potential clients to just find some hope and healing and answer any questions that they might have about the program before they get started.
As a provider who may be considering an option for a client when outpatient counseling just isn't enough, who are the individuals that really benefit most from your program, and why is that?
The program is really designed to serve a lot of different diagnoses. And so the clients that we're looking for are clients that are maybe just not benefiting. They're not getting enough support at that individual level, that just need a little bit more consistency. The clients that are struggling with day-to-day functioning in some way, shape, or form, the program can kind of offer that daily support and coping skill building. The people that are coming into the program tend to just need a little bit more than individual counseling can provide, and just need a little bit more of that coaching side of things as well. I think the group atmosphere just like creates this space of I'm not alone. There's also like this natural ability to kind of be held accountable and want to present yourself well and be working kind of side by side with people, not so individually focused. When you're in individual care, it's just you and your therapist in the room. When you join a program like this, you have this group of people that are also working really, really hard at learning how to cope with their mental health. I think it can be very encouraging. You can learn from other people, but also just being here every day with somebody that's also working very hard is adds this level of kind of like pressure to make change happen very naturally. And that's a positive thing. I think we're all motivated by people in some way, shape, or form. So being part of a group can be very uplifting.
Could you give us an overview of sort of the techniques you use or the modalities? Like what happens in your group?
Yeah, day to day, our group looks like people kind of come in, and everyone, we have a lot of just kind of like paperwork type assessments that we use throughout the week to provide information to your providers. But at the beginning of group, we're really providing a lot of like supportive counseling. And so the start of group is very much supportive and validating and encouraging. Everybody gets to touch base about their individual concerns, get some time to talk and share, and gets some really individual feedback, either from the group members or from their clinician, just kind of as part of that daily routine. Majority of our teaching and the component and the curriculum is built around the DBT model. So we're teaching DBT therapy and CBT concepts in the group, which means we're doing a lot of mindfulness, a lot of learning how to regulate emotions, distress tolerance. And then we also do a lot of coaching around interpersonal skills, because when we're struggling with our mental health, often our relationships tend to struggle as well. So a lot of practice and teaching around interpersonal skills is part of the program as well.
How do you incorporate medication management?
When people are starting, we do have them meet with a medication management provider here at CFS. It really depends on what they have before they come into the program as well. A lot of our clients are going through medication changes or need adjustments. And so all of those, like we're able to provide access to medication management for all of our clients. However, if they do have an external provider, that can be just a very temporary relationship while they're in the program. Otherwise, they are welcome and encouraged to continue with that medication management provider as they transition out. For those that are not interested in medication management, it is just another clinical eye. So we do still have them meet with our med providers in more of a wellness type assessment, just looking at maybe diet and exercise and sleep and those types of things. So even for clients that are not interested in medication management, we do want to have just another set of eyes looking at their overall wellness. And so they are still meeting with the provider, however, not required to do any sort of medication that they're not comfortable with.
How many groups do you have, and what kind of are the days and times of these groups?
We have one group and one intensive outpatient program here in our Appleton location, and we have the same group running at the same time in our Germantown location.
What is the recommended length of your program, and why is that so important?
We are typically recommending 6 to 8 weeks of IOP, and we chose that because first off of the level of content, we want to teach what we teach well. So we take some time, we cover the skills that we believe are really important for life skills and for coping. And I have 26 days worth of material where you learn something new every day. That does not mean that people are done in 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes people need to go a little bit longer or go through the skills again in order to get the progress and get the knowledge and get the level of support that they need. We really want people to give themselves enough time to learn and to be putting the things that we're teaching into practice and have this support for long enough that they're able to make changes and able to grow. And so that 6 to 8 week mark tends to be where we're seeing people really benefiting, really growing, really gaining that momentum and that progress that they're looking for.
Do you include individual or family sessions or both in your program?
As part of our day-to-day routine in IOP, individual and family sessions are not built into our IOP time from that 9 to noon schedule. However, we are, as an agency, able to add individual and family sessions to our IOP clients' care as needed. Everyone comes in with different levels of support and different concerns, and so we are always recommending individual and family sessions as needed throughout the programming.
What if this client has an individual therapist already or a family therapist? Do you collaborate with that?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always very focused on clients maintaining the support that they have as they come in. Not all conversations are group appropriate, so them having that individual support while they're in IOP is always great. And we work very closely with those providers to just make sure that we're all on the same page, we're working on the same goals, we're not duplicating services, but providing additional support. And so all of our clients are encouraged to maintain relationships with their individual providers if they have one. And if they don't, we're definitely making those connections so that they have that support, especially as they transition out of group. And we like to make those connections before discharge so that they have that relationship and are working on that before they're done.
Who wouldn't be a good fit for this program?
There are times where clients are so dysregulated that they are not able to maybe sit for a 3-hour session or be in a room with people for 3 hours without getting overwhelmed or becoming disruptive or disrespectful. Those would be the times where maybe we could not honor a client's need. The only other really kind of basic criteria is that you have to be able to attend drug and alcohol free. So anyone that is struggling with addiction to the point where they cannot come and attend substance use free, we would not be able to serve those clients.
What's the intake process like?
For anyone interested in the program, there's an online request form. And so you can kind of go online and just kind of indicate that you're interested in the program. Our intake staff will call and get that ball rolling. Providers can refer online, and anyone can call. Providers or clients can call directly to our main line and just say that I'm interested in the intensive outpatient program. Our intake staff is very quick to respond and always prioritizes those IOP referrals, making sure that we get them on the phone right away, knowing that those are urgent needs. They'll call, they'll schedule an intake. I and another clinician personally do the intakes for the program, and so we're able to get intakes scheduled at the earliest convenience. So we're trying to get people in within a day or two of that phone call for an intake. We do that formal intake session, and then everything kind of just goes pending insurance after that. And so everything gets submitted. We're able to get people started as soon as we get a thumbs up from insurance. And so often we're able to do that intake and set a start date within a week.
Can you do intake sessions via telehealth?
Absolutely. We try to be very flexible to make sure that we can get people in as soon as possible. So we schedule intake sessions in person or telehealth.
How does this program work as a step down in care?
As a step down in care, a lot of clients coming from an inpatient unit or maybe a residential unit are coming into this reality of needing to navigate their day-to-day life, but also need a lot of support in doing that. So the program gives people this opportunity to have support, but then step back into their day-to-day lives and then kind of follow up again the next day. So we get to talk about it, we get to process it, we get to kind of coach right away, moving right into the next day. And so you get to experience a lot of your normal life stressors in an IOP program, but still have a lot of support and a lot of skill coaching and a lot of guidance through that.
Can you tell me about the collaboration that you have with caregivers? Say someone's watching this and they need a step down in program for their client. How do you collaborate through the beginning all the way through the end?
Yeah, right from the beginning, we make sure that we're getting releases signed so that we can get records and inform providers that, hey, we did an intake, let them know whether or not they get admitted to the program and the reasoning why. And then throughout the process, it really just becomes making sure that we're coordinating care. And so whatever that looks like, if we have medication concerns, we're sharing a lot of observations, making sure that I'm not overlooking anything and that they might not be as well. So really just kind of keeping that line of communication open with their provider as we go through the program, making sure that we're doing our best to work as a team to support them.
What does aftercare look like?
It really is client specific, and so we're able to offer any sort of drop down care. So sometimes we do have some lower intensity group options that we're referring to when we're discharging from group, especially for clients that do well in the DBT model and really like that group atmosphere. A lot of our clients are discharging into a weekly individual counseling, whether that's through CFS or their external provider.
How do you incorporate faith in your program? And do you have to be Christian to attend?
You do not need to be Christian to attend. However, we are Christian Family Solutions, and so definitely view this as a responsibility to like support our Christian clientele and growing in their faith and including that in their care. We bring this Christian component into our sessions based on what our clients' goals are. And we have a lot of discussions very openly about that. And everyone has different faith background and goals and things like that. And so differences in opinions and faith perspectives are a natural part of our day. However, all of those conversations are welcomed.
What does success look like? And do you have an example?
Success looks like clients feeling confident and comfortable in their ability to cope with their mental health. And so often when they're starting the program, being overwhelmed by your mental health, by your symptoms, by stressors, by whatever's going on in life, and just feeling like you don't know what to do is often how people are starting. So success looks like leaving this program with a deep breath and saying like, okay, when this presents, I know what to do. I have a plan. I have these skills. I can navigate these thoughts and feelings in a different way and break out of this pattern of feeling overwhelmed or impaired by them. Just thinking about success cases, I think very often I get to see people leave this program sad to go. Saying, man, I wish I would have done this a long time ago, and then stepping back into their lives just with this ability to cope with it. And so sometimes that looks like moms being able to take on parenting and hold their head high and not feel ashamed or overwhelmed. And it looks like employees stepping back into the workforce, being able to cope with the interpersonal problems or just managing the stress. It looks like people reconnecting with their faith and feeling comforted and loved by God, and just feeling confident in their salvation and their ability to pray and just even attend church sometimes without being fearful of being out in public.
Thank you so much for all you and your team do, Cassie.
It is absolutely a blessing and an honor to serve the clients that we do in this program, and I just thrive on watching people work this hard. Like, IOP is often very challenging. No one really steps into this type of environment preventatively, where everyone's coming in here for some reason where they're feeling overwhelmed. And so really being part of that change process is very moving for me personally as well.
Thank you.